Okay, so looks like I've had a little bit of some technical issues, but we are going to keep it going. So let me make sure I got everything here up and going. Let me make sure you guys can see me. So I'm just doing it from a different location, which is okay because the whole point is to get what I am going to be teaching across. So we just have to do this a little bit of a different way, but that's okay because the whole point is for us to get the message across no matter what is happening, right? We're talking about the power of focus, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do like we normally do. And guess what? We're going to keep on moving in spite of everything that's happened. So, we're going to go ahead and play this video. And then after this, we're going to go right into the power of focus. We'll be right back after this. If you are watching us via YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. If you so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Facebook, make sure you click like and share if you are blessed by the content that we continuously bring each and every week. So we're going to play this video, and then after that, we'll be right back.
Long before the beginning of all other beginnings, God is. In a burst of creative activity, God creates the world and everything in it. Humans are designed to live inside of this unique relationship, but they choose otherwise. The law of God is broken, and the heart of God is pierced. But the story isn't over. In the fullness of time, God gives his Son, born of a woman, born under the law. Jesus comes to seek and save those who are lost, wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. On the cross, God is in Christ, reconciling the world to himself. And with a loud cry, Jesus breathes his last. But the story isn't over. On the morning of the third day, the power of the living God erupts, breaking through death with the moment that will define all other moments. Perched at the edge of heaven, the angels stand in awe as one of their own rolls away the stone that's guarding the body of Jesus. As if anything can guard Jesus. He walks out of the tomb alive. He is victorious. He is conquering death and rendering the grave unnecessary. He is living and moving and breathing as only the risen Son of God can. But the story isn't over. We are, every one of us, searching and hoping and longing for life. It's a desire that's been deposited into our souls by the very same God who spoke it all into existence. And it's this exact life that the resurrection of Jesus invites us into. So bring your hopes, your regrets, your successes and your failures. Bring your doubts, your joys, your fears and your dreams. Be resolute and unwilling to settle for anything less than the abundant life of the risen King. Because truly, if the story isn't over, then what happens next might just change everything.
Woo! And I am back here with Sisterhood Check-In, and we are going to continue in spite of our technical difficulties. We are talking today about the power of focus. What a perfect example and a perfect timing. My internet is acting up. It's been shutting on and off all day long, but we are going to keep moving, right? So we're going to talk about the power of focus. Okay, so some of you might say, okay, yeah, I know about focus. I know, but what you don't understand is you don't understand why focus is important. And I'm going to talk to you about that. Why focus is important. The reason why focus is important because it directs your attention or effort to something specific. I'm going to say that again. It directs your attention or effort towards something specific, right? So just think about it. When you're focusing on something, right, that means you have that one particular thing in your zone, right? And all of your effort, all of your attention is going towards that one particular thing. That's what it means when it says you direct all your attention. That means you have set your face, you have put blinders on, and you have decided to focus on that and that alone, right? The reason why focus is why attention why focus why directing your focus or attention towards a specific thing is important is because let's think about it. When you actually get in your car and you go somewhere, you have an intent on where you're going, right? You don't just go with the flow. You don't just get in the car and just drive all over the place. You have an intended place that you're going to go, or you're going to waste gas, right? And I don't know about you. I don't like to waste gas. I don't like to waste money, and I don't like to waste time. So, when you think about getting in your car and just driving any particular place, right? You're not going to do that. When you get in your car, you have a desired place that you're going to go, right? A desired place that you're going to end up, right? It's the same thing with focus. Focus helps you to take your intentions, your efforts, and put it towards a specific thing. Why? So you can get something done, right? So, what does it mean when you say we need to focus? What does that what does that mean? What it really means is that you're present, right? Undistracted and present. You ever talk to somebody and they're like all over the place and they're not looking at you eye to eye and they're all over here, all over there? That means they're not present. When you are not focused, that means you're not present. You're not there in the moment. So you could be talking to somebody, you could be doing something and their mind can be somewhere else. Your mind could be somewhere else. That means you are not present. You are distracted, right? So when you get up in the morning and you're getting ready for work, right? You're intentional, right? I don't know about you, but when I'm getting prepared for the day or whatever, I get up, right? I get up, wash my face, brush my teeth, I pray, meditate for a little while, get dressed. All of these things that I'm doing, get the kids ready, get them ready for school. All the things that I'm doing is I'm intentional. I'm putting effort towards a specific thing. And that specific thing is my focus is to get my kids off to school on time, right? That's my main focus. So if my main focus is to get them off to school on time, that means every activity and everything that I do is going to be geared towards that one particular thing, right? So that's pretty much what focus is. Focus is you putting all of your energy and all of your effort into making sure that that one particular thing is being accomplished. Well, how does that affect your life and business, right? When you don't have focus in the areas of your life and in your business, then what happens is you waste time, you waste money, you waste energy, you waste effort, right? And just like I said earlier, I don't know about you, but I don't like to waste my time because time is something that you can't get back. You can replenish money, you can replenish everything else, but you can't replenish your time, right? So you have to be the same way when it comes to the areas of your life and your business. You have to focus. Find that one particular thing that you want to do, right? Figure out what it is that you want to do in your life and make an effort to pursue that one particular thing. If you're wanting a relationship, if you're seeking relationships, take that one particular thing and make sure that you're putting your energy and effort into the thing that you want. If you want to start a business, right? Put your energy and your effort into running your business, right? That means do the necessary things to set your face a flint so that you can accomplish the very thing that you want to do, right? Why is focus important? Well, just let's think about it. When you're focused, you're more productive, right? How many times have you been at work or you've been in your business and you've actually set your mind on something that you're doing and you put all of your energy into it? You've got a lot more stuff done, right? You put your focus into cleaning your house, and then what happened? You got your house clean, right? it it allows you to be more productive. It allows you to be able to get some things done without having to without wasting time, right? The second reason why focus is important is because it allows you to be intentional in your decision making process, which means you're not all over the place. That means that you are a person that know exactly what you want. Don't you hate to be around people that just, it frustrates me when I'm around people that don't have an idea, all right, of what they want, and you're a grown person. That annoys the crap out of me. That's like one of those things, those pet peeves that get under my skin, right? If you're an adult, you should know or have some sort of sense of direction in which in where you want to go, right? So most of the time, I say most of the time because it's not like that all the time, right? Because some things you think is common sense, some things are just not always common. When you are more focused, you're intentional in your decision making process. That means that when you're a parent and you tell your kids no, when it's time to go to bed, or no, you can't do this, you're intentional, right? It makes you more decisive, right? When you're focused, you're more decisive in your decision making process, right? Also, it prepares you for what you're expecting, right? If you're running a business and you expect to have a certain amount of people that are following you in your business, or you expect to have a certain amount of money running through your business, right? You have to get focused. That means you have to in order to focus brings strategy, focus brings clarity, right? Focus brings execution. I don't know anybody that has a business that doesn't execute, right? If you're focused on where it is that you're going, then you're going to execute whatever it is that you plan for your particular business, right? And it's the same way in life. If you get up in the morning and you're intentional, I have a vision board, and on my vision board I have things that I want to do, that I am intentional about when it comes to my personal life, when it comes to my business, when it comes to my family, when it comes in the area of relationships. I am intentional. I am focused. That means that every decision that I make around those areas of my life, I'm intentional with it, right? The only thing I let go flow in my life is process. I don't let my decisions be an act of just flowing. I only let my process be an act of flowing. So that means if I say that I want to make, a certain amount of money in my business every month, then that means I'm going to be intentional on making sure that I pursue that amount of money, pursue all the things that's necessary to make sure those things are accomplished. If I know that I want to focus on being at a particular place in my personal life, then I know I have to be intentional about getting those things done. And I have on my board, I have affirmations, things that I say to myself every day, because the more I realize in my own personal experience is that when I take time to really affirm who God says I am, and I begin to remind myself of the fact that I'm made in the image and the likeness of God. So that means that if I'm made in his image and in his likeness, there's some things that I can speak and profess over my life and see it come to pass because of who I am, and because of my relationship, and because of the image and likeness that I am made of in his life, in his because I'm made in his image and his likeness, right? And it's the same way with you. I think what happens is, when we start getting to a point where we start not really putting the energy into being more intentional in how we handle or govern in our lives, then what happens is, yeah, a lot of things just flow. Yeah, you got a lot of debt that flows, you got a lot of wasted time that flows. There's a lot of things that can come as a result of it, and we don't want that. So we want to make sure that we are intentional, right? Because we said to be focused means to direct your attention, effort towards something specific. All right. The Bible says, whatsoever you desire when you pray, if you believe that you receive, you'll have what you say. right? So you can't be intentional if you don't focus and if you're not intentional on that one particular area in your life and business. So, next up, we are going to be talking about, we've already talked about what does it mean to focus. We've already talked about why focus is important. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what happens as a result of a lack of focus. And I know some of you can attest to that. Some of you, I don't even have to tell you, you can just look at your life, your business, and see what happens when there is a lack of purpose in your life. We'll be right back after this. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives needed to service their customers from home. If you're interested, please apply at www.ibgcareers.com.
Let's work. I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I. Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work.
IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives to service their clients from home. If interested, please apply at www.ibgcareers.com.
Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go.
Okay, and I am back with we have been talking about why the power of focus. And thank you so much for those that are watching, that may watch later. I'm probably going to edit this because I've had a lot of some internet issues, but we are still going. in spite of everything that's happening, I'm focused and dedicated on continuing no matter what comes my way. So you have to be prepared no matter what you do in life and business. You got to be able to keep going no matter the abyss, the all the stuff that's happening, technical, whatever. You got to still keep going because you can't let one thing stop the show. Not if you have an alternate way to be able to do it. So let's continue. We talked about why focus is important. Now, in this last segment, we're going to talk about how a lack of focus affects you also, right? So, here are some signs, right, that you might be lacking focus. Number one, you don't get enough sleep, right? Just think about it. When you work all day long, or you just busy, 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 just being a busybody, or you just busy working and you just doing all kinds of stuff, you lack sleep and you don't get enough sleep. You staying up late working or whatever, like sometimes I do, it can affect your focus. It's important to at least take naps if you can, right, during the daytime so that your body can replenish itself. Sleep is important because it helps with our brain activity, it helps with our overall physical health. I make sure I take me a nap every single day because I don't care if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it affects your overall health. When you get to lay down, whether you take a 10-minute nap on your 15-minute break at work, when you take at least one nap a day, it really does help with clarity of mind, right? It affects your focus, whatever it is that you're doing, doing whatever it is that you're focusing on, whatever it is that you're working on, it helps you to focus better. So, number one, taking a nap. Another thing that number two affects your focus is not eating right. You can't just eat any old thing that you want and then and expect it to not affect your focus, right? If you're eating junk food all day long, or you're eating late at night, or you're not eating enough of the right foods, it can affect your focus. You'll find yourself being irritable, you'll be tired and worn out, and then all the obligations or goals and things that you have set, you're not going to be able to meet them because you're not focused, because you're sluggish and you're tired. And when you're eating foods that are high in sugar and carbohydrates, it affects your focus. Okay? So, one, not getting enough sleep. Two, not eating, you know, your diet, not eating the right foods or eating too much high sugary things. Stress. Number three, stress. Stress affects your focus. If you don't know how to maintain the levels of stress in your life, it can make you feel overwhelmed and it can affect your focus. If you're worried about what you have to do, what you have to pay, what you have to do in a day, what responsibilities that you have to take care of, it can affect your focus. So make sure that you are balancing your emotions, because this is one thing that I've realized, right? And this is something I was thinking about earlier. You can be living in the present and your mind can be affected by something that happened in the past. And whatever it is that happened in your past, it can affect your focus in the future. Even though you're now doing everything that you're doing all activities pertaining to now in the present, your focus can be broken if you're focusing on the past. So you have to learn how to take the lessons that you needed to learn from the past and be able to continue to keep moving, being able to again focus, right? Be intentional on what it is that you need to get done. Because what happens is when you bring in your past into your present, and it will interrupt your focus. You won't be able to think clearly. You won't be able to, you'll be finding even though you're in the present, your mindset will be still back in what happened over here last year, 6 months ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So when you're focusing on the past, that tends to affect your focus. So make sure that you're managing your emotions and that you're taking the time to work through those issues emotionally, mentally, physically. Make sure you're working through those emotions so that you can focus, right? So we said number one, not getting enough rest. Number two, diet, not eating a lot of high sugary things or high carbohydrates. That affects your focus. And focusing on the past. Focusing on the past can affect your focus, right? And I'm not going to be on here too long because, again, like I said, I have some technical issues, but I was not going to let this night go by until I got this out. I didn't care what I had to go through, how I just was determined to get this out, right? So, how do you prepare for the things that you're expecting, right? The way you do that is you're intentional, you're focused. Write down the things that you desire to do in your personal life. Write it down, right? Even the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. So those that read it may run with it. Well, how can we read something that hasn't been written down? So when you are intentional as far as documenting or journaling the things that you expect to take place in your life, then you can put the necessary steps in place to execute whatever it is that you need to have done. So that is my little spill on focus. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to also say too is that the difference between people that do well and do exceptionally well is people that are disciplined in their focus, right? And sometimes also to add to another thing in regard, another point in regards to focus is sometimes it makes a difference to be around the right crowd, the right environment. When you're around the right environment, around the right people, it will help with your focus because when you're around like-minded people, when you're around people that are going in the same direction that you're going into, it makes it a lot easier to put blinders on and focus. When you're around people and they're not going in the same direction that you're going in, sometimes it could be difficult to stay focused. But when you're around people that are like-minded, have the same mindset, not necessarily that has to be the same goals, but just the same mindset in terms of making sure that they're decisive in whatever it is that they're trying to do, it will help with you becoming more focused, being around the right environment. I remember Miles Monroe said one time, if you take a plant, you stick the plant and you put it somewhere where it doesn't get lighting or water, it may still be a plant, but it's not going to grow. Even though it's still a plant, it's not going to grow if it's not in the right environment. So environment has everything to do with your thought process, which along lines help you to stay focused. So that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just kind of like trying to get this out because it was something that was on my heart and I really wanted to share it. And I wanted to tell each and every one of you, thank you for so much thank you for watching. Thank you for taking time to sit with me during this 30 minutes in Sisterhood Check-In. Next week, we'll be back to normal with I have a technician coming out tomorrow to fix the issue, and we'll be back to our normal broadcast services. But don't forget to also watch us on Sunday with Dinner with the Coaches. We have an amazing guest that is going to be with us on Sunday. So make sure you follow us on Sunday at 7 p.m. with my partner, my co-host, Thomas Taylor. And I will see you guys on Sunday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.